the love of yoga, and they have no interest in teaching. And that was my story as well. And it's all that I do now. So Access has changed my life in a million different ways. Whether you're looking for leadership, communication skills for the jobs you have in real life, or this is something you think you might want to pursue later on, I would love to have that conversation with you, answer any questions you have, and help you get the details you need to make that decision. So let that simmer in the back of your mind. You've got until April 21st. That's when our next Access training starts. And starting February 1st, you can enter into the drawing to potentially get $1,000 off of that. So lots of time to think about it. Let's get started. Child's pose. We've got a 60-minute journey into power practice. Go ahead and take your knees super wide apart. Toes come to touch behind. And we'll start right here by just building the foundation of your whole practice, which is the breath. Our journey into power practice is basically a 60-minute breathing exercise in which we're making some interesting shapes with our bodies. So to start building the breath here, take a full breath in until you have filled your lungs up to 100% of the capacity available to them right now. Notice the pause that creates. And then empty out completely, getting rid of all the air that's inside your lungs. And notice the pause that that creates. The third part, and where the magic happens here with the Ujjayi breath, is in placing your tongue just a millimeter or two closer to the back of your throat. And you're going to start creating a sound on your exhale, like you're intentionally fogging up a mirror. Continue in this way, working with the whole capacity of your lungs that you have available. The whole inhale, fill, and then empty it out completely. Take another full breath in. Exhale it out. Take your first downward facing dog. Now start making lots of movement here, bending one knee and then the other. Stretch out your toes, the arches of your feet. Yeah, maybe even sway the hips and the head side to side. Really just using this moment here to figure out, okay, where in my body do I have some mobility? Where do I maybe want to add some mobility? And then see if there's any creaks or cracks that we need to work out. On your next inhale, lift your heels all the way to the ceiling. Exhale, lower them down toward the floor. 2 more, fill up and lift. And empty out. Last one, inhale completely. Exhale completely. Step to the top of your mat, feet to your hands. Ragdoll, pull the pit of your belly in and up in a forward fold here. So you're creating a back that's super round and C-shaped. I like to use the analogy here like you're hanging over top of a fence. The fence is right at your belly button. So that creates kind of the top of that arch in your back. And then let everything on the head side of the fence, from the belly button all the way to the crown of your head, reach toward the floor. And everything on your side of the fence where your feet are, make it active. Press down into the floor. Lift your toes, spread your toes. Press the mounds of your big toes down and the center of each heel down. Then lift up your sit bones toward the ceiling. You're pressing with your hamstrings to make as much stretch as you can in the back side of your legs. On your next inhale, rise all the way to stand. Extended mountain at the top of your mat. Head and arms come up last. Hands at heart center. Now here's the fun part. You get to decide right here what you're embodying for the next 60 minutes. Who do you want to be on your mat? Maybe who do you want to be when you leave? And that's all we're going to do for the next 60 minutes. Embody that and make some weird shapes. So let's take a big Om together to seal our intentions. Breath in. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, create a long flat back. Chaturanga. Hands to the floor, step or hop back to your high plank and lower down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in and out. 2 more together. Fill up and empty. Last one, breathe in. Empty out completely. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Breathe in all the way up. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Step or hop back. Upward facing dog. Breathe in. Downward facing dog. Breathe out. Breath in together and out. 2 more. Fill up and empty. Last one. Fill your lungs completely. Empty them out. Look forward, move forward. Half lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Step or hop back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in and out. 2 more. Fill and empty. Lift your heels and prepare. Bend your knees to hover. Hop to the top of your mat. Half lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Press through your feet. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Lift your hips up and back. Let it go. Last one in. Empty completely. Feet to your hands. Half lift. Fold. Chair pose. Sink low, reach high. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga. High plank to low. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Pause here at the top. Let your whole back foot come down toward the mat. So heel and all. Press down so much that you can start to feel your back leg pressing your hips forward. 1 more breath in to get tall. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior one. Inhale to the top and pause. Press your feet down. We've got the back foot established. Now lift both sides of your body all the way up to your ears. Total body expression to your fingertips. 1 more breath in. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Breath in and out. 2 more. Fill and empty. Last one. Empty completely. Feet to your hands. Half lift. Fold. Chair pose. Sink lower. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga. Moving 1 breath at a time. Up dog. Down dog. Right side warrior one. Use a whole breath to rise. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing. Down dog. Left side warrior one. Inhale to rise. Chaturanga on your exhale. You move with your breath. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Your breath is going to be slightly different than what I'm calling, different than what your neighbor's up to. But let your breath be the wave that you're riding throughout the whole practice. Take 1 more in together. Exhale it out. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, down dog, right side warrior one. Press down through both feet. Chaturanga. Upward facing, down dog, left side. Inhale all the way up. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog, pull your chest forward. Downward facing dog. Breath in, sigh it out. Lift your right leg up behind you. Get some height here, but you want to dial all 5 of those toes down toward the mat. So you're really working on extending your hamstring, making it long and strong. Yeah, maybe even some shaking going on. Embrace that. Bend your knee, open your hip, stay here, or flip your dog. Flip dog can also be accessed by just sitting on your bottom and then reaching the hips up. Sometimes an easier way to get to it. Yeah, and then set your gaze here up toward the ceiling or past your fingertips. Press your feet into the floor. One more breath in. Both hands down, flip over, side plank on your right. Right arm down, left arm lifted. You choose the intensity of this pose. There's a knee down, or you could go with a leg lifted. One more breath. Chaturanga on your exhale. High plank to low, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. And we get to do it on the other side. Lift your left leg behind you. Yeah, make it straight and strong right away. Find as much height as you can without opening the hips. So both hips square to the floor. Really nice adjustments. Now bend your knee. Open that up. Stay here in this stretch or flip your dog. Those of us in the flip dog here, bring your toes a little closer together. Nice adjustment, Neil. Press your heels down. Lift the center of your pelvis up toward the ceiling. One more big breath. Both hands down, side plank. Left arm down, or right arm down, left arm lifted. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. It's going to make every single pose a bit easier. One more breath right here. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And as a reminder, you are free to go straight to down dog and skip any chaturangas that I call. Take another breath. Empty it out. Step your right foot forward for crescent lunge. Come down as low as you can right away in your lunge so that front knee comes close to 90 degrees. This time, the back foot, just the ball of the foot on the floor with the heel stacked right over top. Lift up through both sides of your body, and then see if you can start to create that crescent shape by taking your gaze up and back. Nice breath. One more in. Hands to heart center, twist to your right. And your left arm here makes contact with your leg. Reach your fingertips apart. Let your spine melt forward towards your chest. One more breath. Empty it out. Back to crescent lunge. Open up warrior two. You can totally stay on that side if you want to. We're going to get to the other side anyway. Everyone, reach your back arm up so it's at the same height as your front arm. Nice. And then pull your body closer to the center of your spine. So Tyler and everyone, can you shift your upper body back just a little bit? Nice adjustments. Extended side angle. Bring the front fingertips toward the arch of your foot. Keeping that 90-degree bend in your front knee. Reach your fingertips up over your ear toward the front of your mat. Nice. So you're creating a big stretch all along the right side of your body. One more breath in. Chaturanga on your exhale, or straight to down dog. Again, your choice. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Exhale it out. Step your left foot forward, crescent lunge. Sink your hips down. Yeah, the lower the center of gravity is toward the floor, the easier the balance is. Yeah, now if you've got the back heel on the ground, pick it up, stack it over top of your front foot or on top of the ball of your foot. Hands to heart center, twist to your left. Use your hands pressing together here to expand your chest and upper back. And then yogi's choice, if you're going to open the arms or take the bind. You could also modify this with a knee down if the balance is feeling a bit challenged. One more breath in. Stay for the twist. Inhale, crescent lunge. Warrior two. Yeah, and then anytime you need to reset your breath pattern, do it with a sigh. And then start to use that whole lung capacity again. Take your gaze to one specific spot in the room, something that's not moving, and rest your face. Extended side angle, front fingertips down towards your arch. Create that long side body stretch here on the left. Reach your fingers all the way past your ear, past the front of your mat. Last breath in. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Let it go. Step or jump to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Sink low. Reach high. Lift from your pelvis all the way up to the crown of your head. So the back side of your body can be super long. Hands come to heart center. Twist to your right. 3 breaths in and out. Lengthen your spine and twist it. Last one. Exhale, back to chair. Hands to heart center, twist to the left. You've got it. Stay low. In and out. Belly in. Twist it out. Last one. Stay. Back to chair. And fold. Fingers to toes, forward fold. Take your peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes. And then allow that lightness to happen that we had in that first forward fold. The whole front side of your body down toward the floor. Let your head drop, let your shoulders round. And then press your sit bones up to the ceiling. So you're elongating the back of your hamstrings. Release your toes, chair pose, sit down, reach high. We're gonna move with the breath here. Inhale, lengthen. Hands to heart center, twist to your right. Inhale, open your arms. Exhale to twist. Inhale, back to chair. Hands to heart center, twist to your left. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Inhale, chair. Hands to heart center, twist to your right. One more on each side. Open up, twist it out. Inhale, chair. Hands to heart center, twist to the left. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Back to chair. Fold. Palms to toes, forward fold, or gorilla pose. So this time we're placing the backs of our hands on the mat. Step onto your palms. And then again here, let the head drop. We're here to release tension, not create more. You might even take your weight here side to side, one foot to the other. Just see what's present and available. Release your feet. Let's take a goddess squat together on your mat. So feet out, mat's width distance. A little bit of an angle out on both sides. Come all the way down. Start at the very bottom. Kind of feel how much mobility you've got. Maybe you shift side to side. Heels into the floor. Now you've got options here. Either tip forward into crow, or if you want to challenge yourself, you can sit up just a few more inches into your goddess. If you're going into the crow here, you've got your wrists parallel to the front of your mat. Knees squeeze into your elbows in the goddess squat or in the crow. And then your elbows press out into your knees for a little bit of extra stability. Nice breath. Stay with it. One more in. Step or hop back. Chaturanga or down dog. However you get there. That's where we'll meet. Yeah, take a full breath in. Exhale it out. Walk your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain at the top of your mat. Reach up, look up. Eagle pose on your right. Right arm comes under. Right leg over. Have a seat. Options here to give yourself a little bear hug if the shoulder bind isn't feeling so great today. See if you can sit down a little bit lower. Yeah, so you can start to squeeze the thighs in towards center. Set your gaze back on that one spot. Keep it there and switch sides. This time, left arm under, left leg over. Sit on down. Pull the belly button in and up, just creating a strong core. So not necessarily to suck anything in, we're just making everything a little bit more engaged. One more breath. Right side eagle. Right arm under, right leg over. Bring the breath back. Set your drishti on that one spot. That's the hardest part of all the equanimity poses, I think, of keeping your brain, keeping your eyes on just that spot. Unwind, airplane. Send your right leg all the way back. Reach all the way back towards your heel. Little bit of bend in your standing knee. Now, everyone, pull your shoulders together towards your spine, almost like you're pinching a penny between your scapula. Open up, half moon. So we're peeling the top hip open, fingertips to a block is super helpful here to bring the floor a little bit closer to you. Extend your top leg completely and lift it 3 more inches. One more breath in, both feet to the mat. Shake it out, do the hokey pokey, whatever you need to do to get to the other side. And we'll take left side eagle, left arm under, left leg over, have your seat. Press your standing big toe mound into the mat. Your foundation and your drishti are going to help you stay right here at center. Unwind, airplane. Take your left foot all the way back. Reach through your fingertips. And then activate the shoulders, retract them, lift them straight to the ceiling. Half moon. The straighter and stronger that top leg is, the easier this whole pose gets. Can you pull your belly button into center here and lift up 2 more inches? Yeah, 1 more breath. Both feet down. Take dancer pose on your right. So right hand inside of right foot. Make it so that your soft part of your elbow is facing out, thumb toward the ceiling, so you can open the whole shoulder. Yeah, so you might want to flip your hand a little bit. Yes, you got it. Pull the belly button in and up. Keep your drishti where it's at. Make it one fluid movement. Switch sides, dance on over to the left. And then check the grip. Soft part of the elbow faces out, thumb toward the ceiling. Equal and opposite actions here in pressing your foot back and reaching your chest forward. Take 2 more breaths. Last one in. Both feet to the mat. Tree pose, right side. So your right foot can go anywhere on the inside of your left leg that it would like to, anywhere but the inside of the knee. Pull your belly in and up. Reach toward the ceiling. How tall can you get here? Nice. Now everyone pull the front ribs in towards center. So you're stacking your rib cage right over your hips. Really reach for the last breath. Both feet to the floor, other side. Yeah, and then right here, at the end of equanimity is where I always hit a wall in my practice. Like I'm here, but I'm not really here anymore. See if you can come back to that intention you set at the beginning. What is it you're embodying? Create that. What does that feel like in your tree pose to be strong, focused, whatever it was you chose? 2 more breaths. Nice gaze. 1 more in. Both feet to the mat. Inhale, extended mountain at the top. And fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Step or hop back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side triangle. Step your right foot as far forward on your mat as you can. And then foundations first. So we'll set up the feet. See that your front foot is parallel to the long side of your mat. Back foot parallel to the short side of your mat. And then take your heel and swing it out 1 inch or 2 so it's outside of your toes. Both sides of the body reach forward towards your ears as you hinge forward. Yeah, keep a little bend in that front knee and in your back knee, but definitely in the front knee. So you have access to pressing down into the floor. Keep that action here of pressing down into the floor as you rise up. Side facing wide leg forward fold, toes toward the left side of your mat, have a fold. Yogi's got lots of choices here. You can take this upside down. You can take some movement side to side, or you can hang out here in the fold and just let it feel really good. Love it. My inversions, pull those front ribs in towards center. Yeah, can you press even more through your heels, whether they're on the floor or in the air? If you're taking movement side to side, get complete and even. On your next inhale, use your strong core to rise all the way to stand. Triangle pose, left side. We're just going to switch the feet. So now we're facing the back of our mat. See that what's now your front foot is parallel to the long side of your mat. Back foot parallel to the short side. And then take your heel out a little bit further than your toes toward the outside of your mat. Yeah, so you could bring your toes into about here. Yeah, so that whole hip closes. And now you can take the side of your hip that's facing the ceiling and press it up. Really nice. Both sides of the body feel really long. Now reach through your fingertips. On your next inhale, rise all the way to stand. Have your fold here. 10 toes to the left side of your mat. If you're dying for another inversion, take it. Option here also to take a bind behind the back. You could interlace the fingers and let your shoulders and your hands reach forward toward the floor. Nice little bend in your knees here. Don't lock them out. If you've got the bind, release it. Stand all the way up. Step to the top of your mat. Inhale, extended mountain at the tippy top. And fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, step or hop back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Stick your tongue out, lion's breath out. Nice, one more of those. Fill up and empty. Roll yourself all the way out to a high plank. Knees can come down here if that's needed. Knees are way behind your hips if they're on the floor. Yeah, nice adjustments. To the count of 5, we're going to lower all the way to the mat for 5, 4, squeeze your elbows in, 2, 1, all the way down. Locust pose, press your hips down into the floor, lift the chest an inch or two, lift the toes an inch or two. Reach back for your heels like you could touch them. Then get the shoulders involved, lift them up to the ceiling, pull them together on your back. One more breath in. Lower all the way down, right cheek to the mat, take your feet side to side. Locust pose number 2, press down, rise up. Yogis have options here as well. You could take the back toes, I love that, tuck them under so you've got some stability. Maybe reach the arms forward here if you're looking for a challenge. Yeah, lots of super people all across the room. Breathe in. Let it go all the way to the mat. Left cheek down, feet side to side. And then notice how it got quiet. Even in these transitions, see what you can do to keep your breath going. Floor bow. Grab for the insides or the outsides of your ankles. You can absolutely do one foot at a time. Press your shins back to the back of your mat. Let that be the action that lifts your chest. One more breath. Lower all the way down. If the knees need to go side to side, let them go side to side. Grab for your feet. On an inhale, rise up, floor bow number 2. Can you press your chest forward here? One more inhale. Lower all the way down. Place your hands on the mat at your lowest ribs. On an inhale, we'll rise up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Make your spine as long as it can be. Bring your knees down to the mat for camel pose. Set yourself up, shoulders over hips, hips over top of your knees. Hands can be either in your imaginary back pockets, or maybe they're going to reach back for your ankles today. You choose. Chest lifts up toward the ceiling. So you want to feel almost like you've got somebody with their hands right behind your scapula, pressing your chest up. So this way we're not dumping into the low back. And it's more of just extending the spine up to see what's there for us. Really nice. Turn your ears on here. On an inhale, come up and out. And then move to downward facing dog. Lengthen out your spine. Yeah, this down dog, just the counter pose to our first little back bend there. Take a big breath in. Exhale it out. Step or jump to the center of your mat for staff pose. Feet out in front. And then arms out in front like a mummy. Start to create a little C-shaped curve in your back. And we're going to slowly, as you can, lower all the way down toward bridge pose. Use your breath. Add it here. Make it matter. And then as soon as you get to the floor, take your first bridge. Set your heels here close enough to your body that you can just kind of brush them lightly with your fingertips. Nice. Now everyone squeeze your knees in just a little bit together. So energetically, everything is coming in towards your center line. On your next exhale, lower all the way down. You've got 6 more back bends. You decide bridge or wheel. If you're going for wheel, set your hands. If you're going for bridge, press your feet. Inhale, rise. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, breath in and out. Inhale, rise, bridge or wheel number 2 for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, breath in and out. Inhale, rise, third one. If you've got a leg that wants to lift in your bridge or wheel, go for it. Take another breath. Lower to the floor. 1 in, 1 out. Inhale, rise. Yeah, this time maybe the other leg reaches toward the ceiling. See how even you can keep your hips. Really nice. 1 more breath in. Lower all the way down. In together. Out together. Number 5. Press down, lift up. Set your drishti, your focal point, on one spot. Now stay up or lower down, your choice. Breath in or out. And then rise up for number 6. You got it. Squeeze the knees in closer together. Yes, Neil, just like that. 1 more full breath. Lower all the way down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees splay out wide. Place a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart. And just notice the breath that's there. This is the place really to reorganize your breath, especially if those wheel poses took it out of you. Inhale to your fullest capacity. Exhale all of it out. Take your feet toward the ceiling for dead bug. Grab for the outside edges of your feet or the backs of your thighs. maybe even the front of your shins here. What you want to look for is that your shoulders can be heavy on the mat and your hips can be heavy on the mat at the same time. And then this puts us in perfect alignment to start stability. So take your feet all the way up to the ceiling. Lower your right leg halfway down toward the mat. Reach your arms way out in front of you. Little pulses. We're just going to squeeze the abs, baby crunches for 10, 9, 8. Yeah, just a little movement. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch your legs. 10 pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet up. You got it. Arms out front. You've got 10 more right here with both feet up. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees. Love a good collective sigh. Roll back and forth a couple of times. Come all the way up to bridge pose, or not bridge pose, boat pose. We're over top, yeah. We're going under the bridge. So boat pose. Feet up. We're going to row our boat. You ready? Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees, rock back and forth, and make your way to right side half pigeon. You choose if that happens on your belly or your back. On your belly in traditional half pigeon, it's going to look like bringing your right knee towards your right wrist, with the ankle headed somewhere over toward the left side of your mat. And then the back leg, we want to get it as long and straight as possible. So as much as you can, get the knee down toward the mat, at least facing the mat. And then blocks can be magical helpers here. So if you find yourself, like I do, where the hips are kind of splaying off to one side, you can add a little bit of support just to hold you in place. Yeah. And then see what you can start to let go in the pose. Maybe you can start to bring your torso down toward the floor. The head might come to rest on a block or on the backs of your hands. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Press yourself up and out, switch sides. You can move through a down dog to do that, or just switch the legs around. So this time it's left knee towards your left wrist, with your ankle somewhere over toward the right side of your mat. Place your inner drishti, your focus here on that left foot, and flex it. It's going to keep your knee in perfect alignment so there's no twisting or rotation happening there. And then see what muscles you can start to let go of so you can sink down a little bit closer to the mat. Nice. And Hayden, something that might feel good here is bringing your foot a little closer to the center of your mat. Yeah, so you're really extending it, and then you can always take this guy and give yourself a little bit more support. Let it land for 3 more breaths. Press yourself up and out. Bring your right leg all the way around for a seated single leg extension. So right leg extends out front. Left leg comes in kind of like tree pose. On your inhale, reach everything to the ceiling and fold. Give yourself a big bend in the knee, at least a micro bend in the knee. You don't want to lock it out here. And then extend your spine really long, all the way from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Retract your shoulders here, send them toward the back side of your body so that your chest can reach forward towards your toes. Release your toes, gates pose. Left hand comes behind, plant it behind you. Lift the hips and reach all the way up. Both hips back down to the mat, left side seated single leg extension. Give yourself at least the little micro bend in your knee and fold on your exhale. Create it so your spine can be long. Pull your shoulders back. Let your chest melt forward towards your toes. Release your toes, gates pose. This time the right hand comes behind, plant it, reach your hips up. Come on down to your mat. Seated forward fold, both legs out front. At least that little micro bend, fold over on an exhale. Create your spine really long here. Now start to round the spine. Take that ragdoll C shape. Let your head drop forward. Feel the stretch maybe all the way up between your eyebrows. Release your feet, tabletop or reverse plank. Hands come behind, fingertips towards your heels. Lift your hips all the way to the ceiling. And then lower all the way down. Fish pose. Grab for your block. And we're going to place it lengthwise right between the shoulder blades. Now the goal here is to place your block in such a way that it feels good. So let your hips be heavy on the floor. And then notice here, if your hips aren't quite touching the floor, maybe the block needs to just be moved an inch or so up towards your head. And then notice for yourself if your neck feels okay. Sometimes a little support is needed right behind your head, just in case. And the way to really check that is, can you swallow here? If that's a difficult task, go ahead and take that extra block or maybe your messy bun, whatever, behind your head to give yourself a cushion. Fill your chest completely with your inhale. Feel your collarbones get big. And let everything go on your exhale. Shoulders fall toward the floor. Rock to your right side to release your props or your elbows. And then let's get upside down. You choose the way. Headstand, handstand, shoulder stand, waterfall. Any way that you want to get your feet above your hips and maybe your hips above your heart. Shoulder stands, waterfalls, stack your heels right above your hips. Yeah, and then my fully inverted friends, pull your front ribs in over center. Yeah, Hayden, flex your feet, press. Yes. Nice active toes. Take a couple more breaths. Inversions, make your way down toward a child's pose. Shoulder stands and waterfalls. You can move to plow if you'd like. Bring your toes down toward the floor. And then plow to deaf yogi. Bend your knees. They can come down around your ears. Maybe you reach for your toes. And then roll all the way out onto your mat. As slow as possible. Once your hips touch, bring your knees to 90 degrees and drop them to your right side for a supine twist. Take your arms out long and wide. Roll your gaze to your left side. Bring the knees back towards center. Roll them to the left. Gently roll your gaze to your right. And come on back to center, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles together, knees wide. Everyone in studio has a cool eye towel. Feel free to reach for that. Scoop your shoulders up underneath of you here to get them as flat on the floor as you can. Shavasana. Legs long and wide, arms long and wide. Create your Shavasana in a way that feels fully supported by the floor beneath you. And we'll take 2 clearing breaths together here. Fill up through your nose, empty out through your mouth. Nice. One more like that. Fill and let it go. Let your breath return to a natural pace. I'll share a passage from Journey to the Heart titled See Life Through the Eyes of Your Soul. Throughout my life, I have had many conscious desires and expectations. I wanted this, I wanted that. I wanted my life to be arranged just so. What I've understood over time is that the journey I'm taking is not one based on arranging my life in a particular way and then keeping it just so. The journey I've been on and what I've been seeking has been the journey of my soul. Much in life can cause us distress and discomfort when we look with our conscious mind. But if we look beyond what we can see on the surface, That's when we'll begin to see with the eyes of the soul. The lessons run deep. Often they take time to learn. We learn about power. We learn about love, courage, faith, saying hello and goodbye, and embracing deep love for ourselves. Learn to see with the eyes of your soul. Experience all the emotions that are there. Discover your truths. Seek conscious peace as much as you can, and seek peace in your soul as well. Let your soul lead you through meadows and take you down deep into the valleys, for all of your experiences are just that, experiences on this mysterious journey of the soul. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring some movement back to the body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your wrists and your ankles. Make your way toward a full body stretch. And then hug everything into center. Knees come towards your chest. Rock to your right side for infant's pose. Let your hips and shoulders be heavy. Experiencing the unconditional support of the earth beneath you. Press your left hand into the floor to rise to a comfortable seat. Eyes closed or drishti settled right in front of your nose. On an inhale, we'll reach for the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. Press your thumbs into your chest so you can feel it. And we'll end with one Om together. Breath in. Thumb knuckles rise to third eye center. We bow and acknowledge each other. Namaste. Great work, yogis. Okay. Yogis at home, thank you so much for inviting us into your space to practice with you. Yogis here, thanks for making it out. Again, if you have any questions about Access, you're just curious what it is, maybe what it is that we learn other than teaching yoga, because there's lots to it, I would love to have that conversation and convince you as to why it's a good idea. I'm just a little bit biased, and that's okay. See y'all out front shortly. If you borrowed any mats, just leave them where they are. I'll get to them. Props can go on the floor up here so I know which ones need to be wiped down.